During the Great Depression, there was a lot of desperation by the United States. So much so, they started to deport their own citizens. This was called the Mexican repatriation. It first started with a couple of local governments and progressively got larger. These local authorities were deporting anyone that looked of Hispanic descent. These authorities did not ask for any type of documentation. A lot of these Mexican Americans were legally in the country and were even born in the United States, but were still deported. It was found that 60% of the deported Mexican Americans were legally in the United States. Large companies were even told to fire Mexican Americans and hire real Americans. It got so upscale that even President Hoover said, American jobs for real Americans. Anti-immigrant sentiment was at an all-time high. These Mexican Americans were in fear of deportation from their own country. The Mexican American repatriation may have been almost 100 years ago, but I believe it still affects Hispanic Americans today, specifically their sense of belonging in the United States. As a Mexican American myself, I can say that my family and I have been in search of a sense of belonging here for a while. I was first born in Mexico, and my family immigrated here when I was a baby. I've been here for most of my life, and I consider myself a Mexican American. I certainly confirm that Hispanic Americans are neither treated like American nor perceived as American when many of us were born here. Our sense of belonging has been lost, and all we want is to find it. Most recently, Donald Trump has made comments that have angered the Hispanic community during his 2016 election. Not just that, but his comments caused a reemergence of anti-immigrant sentiment. Hispanic Americans have embraced American values, yet our sense of belonging has just not been there for us. For most of us, our families have fought and clawed to be in this wonderful country, and all we ask is for acceptance from our fellow Americans. The Mexican repatriation occurred in the 1930s, yet the effects and lack of apology from the United States government continues to put an aura of hatred against us, ultimately affecting our sense of belonging in our own country.